We are live. Let's check the stream though. Let's check if the audio is good or not. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Oh yeah, it works. Are we straight? We straight. Welcome to Kings versus Celtics post-game show from the home office tonight. Did not make the trip to Boston. I did a few years ago. It was a hell of an experience. The fans were awesome over there. You really feel the Boston passion. People always talk about the nostalgia and the fandom of Bostonians. I definitely felt that wrath and that passion when I went to Boston a few years ago. Back when the Kings had Rajon Rondo, believe it or not. Good times. Had a great time in Boston. And tonight, the Kings fell a little bit short, 103-102. Buddy Hield, career high, 41 points on 53% shooting from beyond the arc. Incredible game. 11-21. Buddy Hield works so hard every day, all off season for these type of moments. That last play, I know a lot of you guys are frustrated with Luke Walton. And I have to go back and watch the game. There's only so much you can really see on that first run, watching it live, and then going back and seeing the intricacies of the game, watching all the details of the game, where I can give you a better analysis after I see all the mistakes. And, all the coaches will point out the silly mistakes, the turnovers that shouldn't have happened. Marcus Smart with the big time steal. If you're Bogdan Bogdanovic, you have to protect the ball a lot better in critical moments like that. He shot a very contested shot. Again, a bad shot is better than no shot. And the 5-second count was coming up. It was coming up. So you have to play. Corey Joseph elected to go with Bogdan. The play seemed to be ran for Bogdan, if I'm not mistaken. And he usually makes those type of shots. He's a guy who makes tough shots. I understand that Buddy was a guy with a hot hand. And perfect scenario. Obviously, you want the ball in Buddy's hands because of what has been transpiring throughout the game. But sometimes you got to put the ball in the hands of your best playmaker. And make no mistake about it, Bogdan Bogdanovic is Sacramento Kings' best playmaker. With De'Aaron Fox or without. The guy makes the best decisions, and he elected to shoot the ball. It was contested. I would have ran maybe a cut to the rack and given more options. I felt like there was a lot of pressure in that inbound. I didn't get it. Usually, Luke Walton is really good with his ATOs, his after timeout plays, and I didn't see a very good one, but they did get off a shot. That's all you can really ask for in a very tight game like that. And we can talk about a lot of negatives on the things that they didn't do, but we're going to focus on the things that they did do in this game as a whole. Now they're 7-9, 3-6 on the road. The Boston Celtics are 12-4, 6-0 at home. They put their undefeated record against the Kings, and the Kings almost had them. They almost had them. I know someone said, "Oh, let me brace myself for a moral victory." Well, nobody, at least I don't believe in moral victories, but you have to tip off your hat to the Kings because they play the right way. They've been playing really well. They're 7-4 in November, and they're 2 games below 500. If they would have won the game today, they would have been tied for the 7th and 8th seed. They're going to be right there all season long. Once they get their young guns back, expect this team to be even better. The Kings are good. I know a lot of you guys wrote them off early in the season. Oh, the Kings suck. The Kings made a bad move, blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting there like, man, the Kings are not in good shape. And that was my biggest takeaway from the first 5 games. They got in better shape. That India trip really did hurt. But the Kings are a good team. The Kings are a good team last year. They're a better team this year. A lot of you guys want to always crap or give crap to Harrison Barnes for this signing. You heard all the chirping, but the guy is such a steady, reliable option for this team. Harrison Barnes is a stud. Championship pedigree. What are we saying here? Are you really going to tell me that Harrison Barnes is not worth the money in this type of market where a bunch of guys have gotten ludicrous contracts, or ludicrous is actually the right term, but lucrative contracts? Sorry, guys. I've been off my game for a while. It's been a while since we've done a post game show. Last one was with my boy Richard from SB Nation's Sacktown Royalty, and on that show I talked about how Bogdan is the best player on this team. I know a lot of you guys have a recency bias of saying, "Well, he just missed a game-winning shot. He's not the best player on the team." Like, yes, he is. He's the best player on this team. He's the most complete player on this team. Now, expect De'Aaron Fox to be that guy. Hopefully. But as of today, right now, Bogdan is the best player on this team. He's been putting up astronomical numbers since De'Aaron's injury. That's the type of role optimization you're going to get with a guy like Bogdan. Like, if you put him in this type of role, he's going to perform. Tonight, he had an off game. He had 13 points, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. I get it. It wasn't his finest games. He's allowed to have an off game and still be in position to win the game. If he hits that game winner, nobody cares about the first 12 attempts, right? It's just a recency bias, man. I get it. We're all guilty of it, okay? We're all guilty of it. Justin James, 14 points. Didn't have an impact, I would say, like he's had in the past 2 games. But it's still nice to see him out there getting minutes under his belt, developing. Those are important minutes. He was there in the fourth quarter and third, I think. He's there in the second. These are very important numbers. Sorry, very important minutes for a guy like him. Celtics did the same thing. They had Waters out there with my guy Carson Edwards, who hit 2 big threes. Hey, Carson doesn't hit those shots, can win this game. Harry Giles was in there for big time moments. 9 minutes, 2 of 3 from the field, 4 points, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 rebound. But Harrison Barnes in 35 minutes, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 7 of 10 from the free throw. He's the only guy that can get to the free throw line, by the way. It feels that way. He's phenomenal at drawing fouls, by the way, for 20 points. Steady. 3 rebounds. Great defense. Steady. What more do you want? Bielita, again, struggled 0-5 from beyond the arc. 1 of 7 overall. 4 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 1 block. He didn't score, but his presence alone keeps the defense honest. The fact that he's out there keeps the defense honest. Bielita is a hell of a player. He's been very steady as well for the Kings all season long. All season long. He's very smart. He can take a guy off the dribble. Believe it or not, I mean, he's done it all season. He's done it his whole career, really, but that guy can move. He has nimble feet, for sure. Rashawn Holmes in 28 minutes was in foul trouble. Missed some big minutes that he could have been out there. I think he's going to learn being in this type of role that the team really needs him. There's a huge drop-off when he leaves the floor. A good defender. Just a very good basketball player. A lot of people saw him as coming here get some rebounds, block shots. He's more than that. He's the anchor of that defense. He's been really good, and expect him to keep his spot. He's the starting center for the Sacramento Kings, period. Right now, today, no matter if Bagley comes back or not, and I would keep this tandem of Bielitsa and Holmes and bring Bagley off the bench. You don't want to mess this chemistry that these two guys have going for each other. Because at the end of the day, Bielitsa is an elite shooter. Even if he went 0-5 today. He's shooting above 40% for the year. So you can't have two guys who clog up the lane when you have guys like Buddy Hield who need space to operate. But I can't wait for Bagley to come back because he's going to bring that bench and that much. What Holmes brought off the bench is what Bagley's going to bring off the bench. That energy, the rebounding, a lot better scoring in the mid post, I would say. But in the starting lineup, I feel like it's not the best right now at this juncture of his career. Off the bench with Bogdan and with Corey Joseph once Fox comes back, I like it. In that second unit, Bagley can flourish. Beat up on second string guys, get confidence, play starter minutes. I like it. Corey Joseph, 35 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, 5 points, hit a big time 3-point shot when everybody was clamping down on Bogey and Buddy. Kings played well. They played good defense. 103 points on most nights will get you a W. Tonight, it didn't. Deadman was Deadman. I mean, he was a plus 12, 4 boards, 2 points, 1 shot. He didn't really hurt you. I feel like he wasn't impactful in a positive way either, though. Although he has a plus 12, and sometimes these numbers are a bit deceiving. Yogi Ferrell, 12 minutes, 5 points, plus 5. I felt like he wasn't impactful either, but he didn't hurt you. There wasn't an impact player off the bench tonight. Usually it's Bogdan, but tonight I didn't see it, which is why I think the Kings lost this game. Because the Celtics, their backup point guard in Waters, who they brought up the G League, was a plus 20, 7 points, 1 of 5 from 3. But for some strange reason, his energy really gave the Celtics just a boost. And whenever you can do that as a bench player, and the guy was really playing for his life right now, he saw an opportunity, no Kemba Walker, needs to go out there and perform. Carson Edwards in 13 minutes, 6 points, those 2 big threes, I kept him alive. Wanamaker didn't have a good game. He was minus 22. But coming into the game, he was solid. I mean, he was 0 of 8 tonight. But for the most part, he's been really good for them all season long. Before we continue, make sure to go visit climbsocietyfolsom.com. Love my people over there. They just opened on the 14th of October. They have cryotherapy. If you're in pain, if you're an athlete, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, any of these things, cryotherapy will help. And it'll help you in a big way. At minus 171 degrees Fahrenheit in that ice chamber for 2 to 3:30, 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, it's going to really help you guys out. They're going to have awesome Black Friday deals if you really are interested. Your first class is free, by the way. So take advantage of that awesome deal right now. Make sure you tell them that Cowbell Kingdom sent you guys. Again, a huge shout out to Climb Society Folsom. Thank you guys for supporting us. And we hope you guys can support them as well. Shout out to our people I Gotta Smile. They're having They're $79 a month braces. So if you want a good smile like mine, look at that, like that. Yeah, go to Gotta Smile because they always treat me right. I just had a cleaning, gingivitis cleaning. That was a bit painful, but I needed it. My last one was 3 months ago. They say typically it's every 6 months, but before my 3 months ago, it was like 5 years. And even though I always floss at least twice a day, brushed at least three times a day, there's always those areas of your teeth where you don't get deep enough that creates a lot of uh, gingivitis in your gums, and you need to be careful because you can lose a lot of the filling in your gums, and then you're screwed. So, highly recommend you guys to visit Gotta Smile, check out their new website. It's super informative. GottaSmile.net. Appreciate you guys so much. Back to the Celtics. Jason Tatum had a wild shot that gave the Kings about 5 seconds uh, to go on that Buddy Hield rebound. Jason's been up and down to me. I know he's averaging 20 a night, but I feel like he can be so much better. Watching them play at home in Sacramento and then watching them play tonight, he's a guy that he's had good moments, raw moments, right? Those ESPN highlight moments on Paul George when he just tripped him, or he made him trip because of his great crossover, and he hit that big shot to go into overtime. But he hasn't been as impactful as I would like for him to be in year number 3. And I felt the same way about Fox before he got injured. I thought both Tatum and Fox, they're playing well. Don't get me wrong. And I don't want you to say, "Oh, Leo said that they're not." No, they're very good. But I just feel like with all the hype that was built up, because both guys, right, being the two of the top 3 guys in their draft class, I just felt like their impact should be a lot bigger. Like you should be able to feel it, like a Luka Doncic, like a James Harden, like a LeBron James. Luka's in his second year. Like there's no excuses to say, well, they're barely in the third year. Like no, like there are guys who are making a huge impact. I feel like Devin Booker has made a big impact. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's made a big impact on teams that aren't supposed to be good. So that's the impact that I'm talking about. They're playing well, but I just feel like they haven't been as impactful as I would like them to be. Let me know if you agree with me. And you don't have to. I may be off base. Let me know. Hey, look, you're stupid. Like no, tell me. Let me know how you feel. Also, make sure to drop a review on iTunes because this will go up on iTunes, and we've been kind of dead as of late, but we're gonna get back on this grind. It's been a tough month for both Eman and I, especially me though. I've gotten the flu twice in the month. Early in the month and recently last week for that Suns game. I was out. I had 103-degree fever. I was out. I was in tears because I had a huge migraine and my body was hot, and my wife had to put a bunch of hot towels on me, and puking and diarrhea and all that stuff. Like it was bad. So it's been rough on my body. And I feel like when I got on keto, yeah, I lost weight, and I'm it's a good diet, but you you have to let go of sugars, and the way I got my vitamin C was with the orange juice. So I haven't drank orange juice in 2 months, so my immune system's been weak. So now I'm drinking vitamin C, but you forget how you get certain things. When you are eating all those carbs and all those sugars, there are good things to those things too. So, but when you leave them completely and you're focused on not eating carbs and not eating sugars, you forget about the other things. And I've been hit twice, and it's not a good feeling. It's just not. It's called the keto flu. My guy Charlie. I haven't seen any of the comments yet. I'll make sure to. Someone said Ebola. That's messed up. I'll make sure to answer all the questions in a little bit. Your breath is gonna start smelling like dog on keto. My breath is not gonna smell, bro, because I got God smile on my side. You know what I mean? So nah. And I floss at least twice a day. At least. So my teeth are they're clean. They're super clean. Trust me. Tony E says, I agree, Leo. All of what you said is why I don't know why, but we drafted the way we did. Next game versus the Sixers prediction. We'll get to that. I don't think they're going to win the game. I thought the game that they should have won was tonight, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they beat the Sixers, obviously. But if Joel Embiid plays, which I don't know, you just never know with a guy like that, who they try to protect as much as possible, rightfully so. You got to save him for the playoffs. You got to be careful. If Joel Embiid plays, the Kings don't win. If he doesn't play, then they'll have a good shot of winning that game. Kings need to go out and sign Chuck K. Shout out to Modesto, California, man. That's my guy. NBA Highlight says Harry isn't good. Kings fans just gas him because he always says he loves Sacramento loudly. Harry is really good. Like, Harry is really talented. The thing with Harry is when you have those type of injuries, it's hard to come back from. Like, if you're a hooper like me, you understand the ramifications of not being able to do what you're accustomed to. Like, it's taken me 5 months to even remotely run at 85% speed. So when I think about 3 knee surgeries before the age of 19 that are really serious, it hurts you emotionally, spiritually, physically. It's not easy, man. The talent's there. Like, his offensive talent is there. It takes time. It's a timing thing. He needs more repetition, but at the expense of losing games. Like, the Kings aren't in this tank mode, play young guys mode anymore. So he has to earn his minutes in different ways. He has to be better in practice. He has to get in better shape. Not saying that it's not as easy as saying, you know what, he's projected to be this. We're just gonna play him just to play him just to get his feet wet. Like, no, like you have to play your best players. Now I still think he's better than Dedmon, but that's completely up to Coach Luke Walton. And when Bagley comes back, you already know Bagley's going to take both of those minutes. So it's going to be Rashawn Holmes, Bagley, and Bielitsa. And then, Giles has to find a way to be productive. And when he gets his number called, because there's going to be more injuries. It's just the way the NBA works. You have to be ready. You have to stay in shape. You have to be a good teammate. Because if it doesn't work out here, other teams are watching what you're doing. So that's my recommendation to all young athletes out there, all young hoopers out there. Don't go out, smoke weed. Like, don't do that. Don't treat your managers, like the guy that makes the socks, and your athletic managers, treat them like crap. Treat them well. These are all questions that GMs ask about you. So if you're in the G League and you're not acting up, and you don't think that they're going to be watching or asking, you're making a big mistake, because everything comes out. Everybody gets out. Trust me. I've heard plenty of them. And not a lot of good stuff out there either. Act your age. Act like a professional. And for the fans that just, crap on guys, look, you're a fan. You're entitled to do whatever you want. Whatever. But at the end of the day, a hooper knows how difficult it is to something like that. And the fact that he's even playing is impressive. And he's given the Kings good minutes this season already. Now, I understand the frustration from a Kings fan in terms of if you expect him to be Chris Webber. Like, why would you expect him to be Chris Webber? Why would you give yourself false expectations? It's unfair to Harry Giles. Now, if the Kings ticket sales team or sales rep sold you Harry Giles is like as that, that's on you. You got to educate yourself and really be like, well, should I give myself false expectations? It's hard when you're that injured. I mean, you've been injured your entire life, it seems like. The most integral parts of your life. It's not easy to come back from. But the talent's there. There's no denying that. You can see it. You can't teach what that guy has. His feel for the game on offense is great. His passing ability is great. So if you've told yourself he's next Chris Webber, you blame yourself for that. That's it. You take accountability for that trash, because that's not fair on Harry Giles. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's just not fair. Gosh. Y'all killing me, man. What are people saying? Kings fans turning on Marvin. Feel bad for the kid. Got to drafted to a team with a crap fan base. Bagley needs to cut his hair. Big hair might make him a little more quicker. Don't do keto diet either. Nah, the keto diet is great. It's high fats, low carbs, low sugars. It's a great diet. You just gotta find different ways to get your vitamin C so you won't get sick. So the packets, the vitamin C packets, buy those. You'll be fine. So I do it after I get hit twice with it. So yeah. See, when people say stuff like this, like, no disrespect, buyer never losing. Trade Deadman ASAP. Why do you feel entitled to say stuff like that? Like, you act like this is 2K and you're playing against a 1-year-old. You have to convince someone else to take on Deadman, who's played really bad this season. It's not as simple as, oh, well, I'm just going to trade Deadman. It's so easy to trade a guy like that who just got paid. Come on, man. I mean, for the people that watch me, who has watched me for years, the one thing that I like to say is that my audience is educated and they don't say dumb shit like that. But I'm mistaken, because a lot of you guys still say dumb shit like that, and it bugs me. It's like, nah, like, I want my audience to be the brightest, the most educated, to enlighten other audiences who don't listen to me, who listen to other shows locally or nationally, and be like, you know what? I know my stuff because I listen to really good analysis, non-bullshit stuff that comes out of Leo's mouth. That's what I want to hear from you guys. Not, oh, let me trade Dudman right now. Like, what? Who the hell's going to take him? Like, what? Why? Let's talk about rotations. Let's talk about basketball things. How can we run better plays, more creative plays to get Buddy open? As strange as that may sound, he shot 21 threes. How can we get him to 30 threes a game? Why not? He's an elite he's the best shooter in the NBA. He is the best shooter. Let's talk about those type of things. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about, oh, let's trade it. Come on, man. Who you going to trade him to? Not going to jump into diet talk here. Not going to jump into diet talk here. Do you? All right, Oakland Ron. Hey, man, I lost 15 pounds on it. I'm not complaining. I look good, so. Here to break it to you, bro. There's a lot of dumbasses in this chat. Ignorant casuals. It's tough. It's tough sometimes. No doubt. But hey, I'm hopeful that those same people who are trolls or who just say dumb things can later look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? I learned something new today. No, I really haven't. I feel like I haven't enlightened anybody. I'm just trying to get back on my feet in terms of being more consistent with the shows. But anytime there's a show on a Sunday, like, I'm not gonna do a post game show on Sunday. It's just is just rough. But the OKC Thunder is playing the Warriors, and they're up 13-9 right now. The Lakers are playing. I don't know what the score is. Let me see what the score is. The Lakers won 114-104 against the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs may not make the playoffs this season. The Blazers and the Spurs have been shocking to me. They're both not that good, which gives the Kings life to be there all season long. The Suns and the T-Wolves are in 7th and 8th. Who would have thought that? And the Kings are in 9th. That's wild to me. That is wild to me. I think the Kings are better than both of those teams, objectively speaking. Objectively speaking, they're better than both of those teams at full strength. The Suns are better than what I thought they would be, though, for sure. But they're also banged up. They don't have Aiden. They don't have Ricky. They don't have their backup point guard. My guy from he looks like he's 80. He's the lockdown defender. And then the T-Wolves, I don't know what to think of Andrew Wiggins' amazing start to the season. Is it sustainable? I, I, who knows with that guy? Does he love basketball? Questions that we have to ask ourselves. Like, I don't know if he does. He's extremely talented, though. He's always been talented. Talent has never been the question for Andrew Wiggins. It's been, can he be a much more efficient player? Does he love basketball? Can he elevate his teammates to another level? Those are all legitimate questions. We'll see. I don't know. Also, we got some new shirts out. I don't know if you guys saw it on Instagram. I feel like anytime we make if I make a post like that, it's not engaging, right? It's just a screenshot. But you understand that the shirt is a silhouette of Sacramento, and there's a silhouette upside down on it, which is kind of creative if you like stuff like that. So if you want to support, make sure to visit teespring.com/cowbellkingdom. It's a sweater, it's a hoodie, it's a sweater for women. I didn't put it as a shirt as of yet because it's winter time, and you can use a discount code for 20% off your purchase. I think it's holiday 20. Don't quote me on that. Actually, yeah, it is holiday 20. So go 20% off. Black Friday deals pretty good, man. $25. It's it's pretty fresh. Like it's a pretty nice design that we came up with. Leo, long turns out to be better, Trey or Shea Alexander? I'm gonna say Trey Young, but Shea Alexander is really good. Like I would trade Marvin Bagley for Shea Alexander in a heartbeat. Like that's what I was talking to E-Man today. I'd be like, that's just what I would do. I'm so high on Shea Alexander when I really wasn't coming out. I was, as you guys know, I was super high on Trey Young, and I was dead on with Trey Young. Like he's really good, and he's as good as I thought he'd be. But Shea came out of nowhere, to me at least. He's just so solid. He's so fast, and he's just so long and athletic, and he's such a great defender, great feel for the game. He can play off ball, on ball. I mean, the dude's just a baller. Like I can envision a De'Aaron Fox, Shea, and Buddy Hield lineup with Bogey coming off the bench, and all four of them actually playing like in small ball lineups. Well, actually, not all four of them. Take that back. Need some shooting out there, but man, like Shea Alexander is really good, but I would take Trey slightly over him. Shout out to my wife, man, who's just walking down the stairs. She says, shh, 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 shh. Mr. Dean says, problem with Trey is he's not a defender, whereas Shea can be a two-way player. Yeah, I agree, but Trey is an elite offensive player. Elite. He makes everyone else around him better. And when you can do things like that, like a Luka Doncic, who's not a great defender, but is already in the MVP conversation, and Trey will be in that spot one day. I don't know when, but when you're that elite offensively, then I have to give you the slight edge because as of today, I don't feel comfortable and saying, "Here, Shea, here's the ball. Go give me a bucket." Can he do it? Sure. Everybody can do that. But there's only a couple guys in the NBA that can do it consistently. And Shea hasn't developed into that yet. But if you put him in the right team with the right system in place, he can do wonders. Like, Shea is really good. And it's funny because I was just talking about Shea today. I was like, I would trade Bagley for Shea in a heartbeat. Luka goes off, I get really pissed off, bro. You know, I'm at the point where I see King's Twitter, and as you guys know, I can call myself the biggest Luka advocate, but I never say nothing publicly, like on Twitter or anything like that. And all these other guys, and as soon as I say anything, like remotely anything, then I get shitted on for that. But if anybody else says it, like, oh yeah, no, but I've been quiet this entire Luka run. Like, Luka's been killing the NBA, and I haven't said a nada, sit, because then they're gonna say, "Oh, you just a Bagley hater." No, I mean, I scouted Luka a year and a half before it all happened, and the day they got the number 2 pick, I really thought it was a prophecy. Like, for the Kings to get the number 2 pick, knowing that Aiden was going number 1 because of the connections between their owner being an Arizona alum, a big booster, and pretty much saying he wasn't going to look at anybody else, which is fine, was like, oh my gosh, this is what Luka's coming to the Kings. The Serbian connections and the fact that his father was friends with Vlade, and he connected all the dots, the European flair, 6'8", with point guard skills. Dream scenario. And the Kings did the Kangs thing. They Kanged us. You know? It's unfortunate, but you gotta move on. You gotta move on. That's it. They drafted Marvin Bagley, who's a good player. He's not a MVP caliber type player. He never will be. But the Kings have a guy that could potentially be an MVP guy in De'Aaron Fox. Now, people shitted on me for saying that Fox and Luka would have been great. As you guys see, it would have been great together. But we got a point guard already. Like, what? No, you draft the best player available because you're a shit team. The Kings are shit. And you have to be cognizant of not drafting by position ever. And an argument can be made that Bagley shouldn't have been the guy anyway. If you talk about position, Jaren Jackson would have been the best fit on this team. If you talk about fit, because he's a center who plays great defense, who can stretch the floor. That sounds like the ideal position for the Kings, which is what they thought they had in Dwayne Dedmon, by the way. Which, as we all know, is not the guy that we thought that the Kings signed this offseason. There's no we, Leo. It's the Kings, all right? Get that we out of your mouth. It's over, bro. I just don't see why you guys bring it up every day. See, and NBA Highlights says dumb stuff like that. Like, this is the first time I've brought this up in about 6 months. I have yet to mention it on Twitter. This is the first time I mentioned it on a live in months. It is what it is. I get it. It is time to move on. But hold everybody else accountable too. Just don't hold me accountable for that. Like, I've been pretty transparent about it. Since day one, I said it was a huge mistake. And, I'm always going to triple down on that. And as you can see, he's pretty damn good, isn't he? He's saying, I'm talking about Kings fans in general, brother. All right. Appreciate the clarification, NBA Highlights. You draft the best player available when you aren't a playoff team. Facts. Tony Eve bringing the validation to the post-game show. So every game is done except for the OKC Thunder and Warriors game for tonight. Miami beat Charlotte 117-100. Toronto 101. Toronto beat Philly today. 101-96. The Blazers are back on track. They beat a bad team in the Bulls. The Bucks beat the Jazz by 4. I remember the first Jazz-Bucks game a few weeks ago, and that was a barn burner. That was a buzzer beater by Bojan Bogdanovic, who is also very good. Anytime your last name is Bogdanovic, you're pretty damn good. Brooklyn beats the Cavs 108-106. Detroit 103-88 to the Magic. The Pacers are playing well, just like the Kings started off pretty rough, but they've been playing well. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies. My guy, John Morant, took a tough spell today. Hopefully he's okay. And in Minnesota, they beat the Hawks 125-113. Cats playing on a great level. I don't know. I'm sure Wiggins played well. I haven't seen the box score, but it seemed like a high-scoring game, so I'm sure both guys had big-time games. And one last thing, again, respect to Buddy Hield. 41 points, career high, in 42 minutes. He's playing his heart out, man, and he's trying to single-handedly will his team to victories. He almost did it tonight, man. And I know he wishes he would have had that last shot, which went to bogey, but very good game. No more victories. We don't believe in those, but we do respect when your team leaves it out there 1,000%. Like when they leave their heart on the floor. You got to appreciate that. And they are shorthanded, so don't forget about that. Appreciate all the support. Make sure to slap a like button. Share with all your NBA fans. Appreciate all the support on the Basketball Zone Cowbell Kingdom YouTube channel. We'll see you guys on the next one.